or to going beyond the head of.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: the Lagos State House of Assembly has re-elected Mudashiru Obasa as its speaker. Second hard fact of the day: I hope that you are not trapped in the rain. It's such beautiful weather. I love when it rains, by the way. I love rainy season because I love like the darkness that it comes with sometimes. My husband complains that I like darkness too much. My house, I'll put off all the lights and I'll just stay in the dark and put the AC on and just be watching TV or something. He, on the other hand, loves light. If you leave him, he'll leave lights on everywhere and it's like bright white light. I'm like, why? How are two people who are so different together? So we have a pact. When he's not around, I have all the lights off. Then when he comes back, he'll leave the lights off for me for like an hour or an hour 30 minutes, and then he'll put the lights on, and then I'm like a vampire. But yeah, I love rainy season. This is perfect weather. I hate that I have to be working while the rain is doing what it's doing right now. Like the outside, I don't know if it's the same way you are in Lagos. Outside my windows in the studio, really dark. You'd think it's like 7 p.m. in the night. Really beautiful weather. Now, of course, it's gonna come with flooding, which is not great. So, if you live in areas that are prone to flooding, you have my sympathies. But it's still beautiful weather, I think. Do you like rainy weather? What do you like? What do you prefer? Do you prefer rain or sun? Do you prefer light or darkness? Do you prefer like houses that are filled with light or houses like just staying in the dark and watching TV or pressing your phone in the dark? That's what I prefer. Anyways, 1 million Lagosians listen to this show. They cannot be wrong. Thanks for tuning in every day. I've got a great show for you. Let's start with the big three. Let's talk about the Education Ministry stopping under 12s from taking common entrance. Let's talk about the Industrial Court stopping the NLC and TUC from striking. And then let's talk about the National Assembly probing Nigeria Air. We'll bring you Community Report at 4 o'clock. And on the Big Hard Fact, we'll talk about the factors affecting the pump price. I will have my guest, who was supposed to be on the show yesterday, join us today. I'm looking forward to that particular conversation. Now, after the news at 6, it's time for the step down. And on the step down, we'll talk about a woman's experiences with a boyfriend who was insecure about her earning more money than him. But we're going to ask hard questions about why men feel like providing is central to their identity. That's what we'll focus on today at 6:15. Why do men feel like providing for the family is central to what makes a man a man? Now, as usual, we'll have news updates at the top of the hour, every hour. But let's get started with today's Big Three. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on the Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Will the unions stick to a truce with the federal government? Should there be a minimum age for common entrance takers? Should the National Assembly have demanded transparency about Nigeria Air earlier? Those are your Big Three. Lagos, let's talk. The planned general strike over the end of subsidy may not kick off tomorrow. That's our first story. Two things happened yesterday that may prevent the strike. First, there was an order from the National Industrial Court. The court agreed with the federal government that a general strike would harm the economy and harm national life. So it ordered that there should be no industrial action until it hears the issue. Now, while that order was coming down, the NLC and TUC were meeting with the federal government. The meeting dragged on into the night. And finally, we got reports that the unions had agreed to call off the strike. Now, I'm still waiting to see an official statement from the NLC about this. Instead, what I've seen is a list of demands from the TUC, conditions to not go on strike. So, TUC wants the federal and state governments to raise minimum wage to 200,000 naira. It wants PMS to go back to pump price during negotiations. It wants a tax holiday for all Nigerians earning 200,000 naira or less, and a PMS allowance for those earning between 200,000 and 500,000 naira. It also wants to work with the federal government to reduce the cost of governance by 15% next year and by 30% in 2025. Really ambitious asks, if you ask me. Now, there's no information on whether the federal government has accepted these terms. Once we get an official statement on the record about any of this, I'll let you know. But what do you think about these demands? Should the NLC and TUC suspend their strike plans? There's a caller who called me yesterday. I think it was Joy. Joy said, please, that they should not go on strike. She supports a no strike action at the moment. I wonder if you are like Joy and you're like, nah, man, we don't need people to go on strike right now, especially because electricity workers are also planning to join in. 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190 0700-993-993 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 99.3. Sorry about that. Give us a call back if you can. Again, 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. Hello.
Madam Sandra.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Dan Baba.
Dan Baba, welcome. Talk to me.
Thank you. To be honest with you, I've not gone to, petrol station to buy fuel since they removed the subsidy.
Oh, that's lucky. How have you been surviving?
I told you now, I know they are going to remove the subsidy, so I feel the tank very well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
But I said a lot of people, Nigerians now, Thomas.
Okay.
They see before they believe. But to be honest with you, remember, I think last week or so, I was telling you on your show how wicked the marketers are,
right.
How we Nigerians are not, helping the matter.
Right.
But what I want to tell the government and the labor union is that I think we should reverse the price. I just spoke with my brother a few minutes ago. He's doing Uber. He said he's been online since yesterday. Mm-hmm. He has not received any treat.
Wow.
The one he's saying is within his vicinity, and it's 1,015. Now, if he accepts that one, there's no way he will buy fuel to work again. And it's not the only one. A friend of mine called me from Benin this morning, and he was complaining that they are doing meeting there to protest. A lot of people are complaining. I think they should put measure in place. If they let them pay everybody 300K, it will not sustain us. They should put things in place. If not, for what I'm saying, make people not go begin to die anyhow, to be honest with you.
Dan Baba, thank you very much for calling. Joy is here. Joy is not here. 99.3.
Hello, President Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Benjamin Chidover is my name.
Benjamin, welcome. Talk to me.
Yeah, to me personally, I'm not in support of the NASS to go strike right now. They would have discussed in a round table if the government can listen, because it's just a new government that take over now. If they can listen, if they cannot listen, they should give them some days. If they cannot listen, they can go on strike. But they coming to the minimum wage of 200,000. I don't think that the government can accept that. They will come down, but it's good as the labor that it give them that amount. And they will still come down. So it's not a compulsion. They must do that. Is 200,000 and you see, this is not the first labor we have had. Thank God that these ones are trying to wake up now for the masses. And for the executive, I don't think for them to slash down their thing. I don't think they will do that because they know what they are getting. It's only the masses are suffering on all these things. Look at the price of things now. I'm using a car that takes a full tank of 16,000 plus
Uh-huh.
before they remove the subsidy. Right now, it's taking 40 something thousand, 43, 44
My goodness.
thousand, and we use that car. We use it in 3 days.
My
3 days.
goodness. My
Yes.
goodness.
Just tell me when you in a week if you can consume 40 something times 3 times or this in a day. How much is your own income?
Yes.
How much is your own income?
Yeah.
Go to the market now. They are paying 30,000 naira for minimum wage before. Go to the market. A bag of rice is how much? Talk less of other food stuff. Now we are suffering here. You let the executives splash their own salary down. Are they owing themselves there?
No.
Let them splash their own salary down and help the masses.
All right.
So let the NOSC and TUC go to the round table and discuss with the government. If the government fails, they should go on strike. I think the strike is the best option for the government.
Okay.
Thank you. How's nice deliberation?
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. Now, of course, this minimum wage, raising it to 200,000. It's not just government that will pay it, Abby. Minimum wage means that anybody that is working anywhere in Nigeria will earn at least whatever the minimum wage is. So that means if you have a nanny and your nanny is earning less than 30,000 right now, you're wrong. If you have a gateman and your gateman is earning less than 30,000 naira right now, you're wrong. If you have a driver, a cleaner, a whatever staff you have, you're working in a supermarket, fuel pump attendant, any person you have working for you that you're paying salary that is earning less than 30,000 naira, you're wrong. So that means that if Labour gets their way and government increases minimum wage to 200,000 naira, it means that you also have to pay your staff 200,000 naira minimum. We've got Don here. Hi, Don.
Hello?
How you doing, Don? Welcome.
Hey, this is Don Cooley on the line. Good afternoon.
Good
Sandra.
afternoon. Good to have you on the show. Talk to me.
Hello?
I can hear you. Talk to me, Don.
Okay. My take is on the NLC. So my question right now is that the request they are making to the government, how does it affect those who are not employed by the government? Because they are saying that they want 200,000 minimum wage for workers. So how do they cater for the market women who are also affected by this increase? How about those who are employed by private firms? How does their request now, how does it positively impact in the lives of those who are not employed by the government? That's just what I want to confirm. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, of course, people who are not in formal employment, it gets a bit tricky. But for private firms, so an organization like Nigeria Info, for instance, or Dangote Refineries, or Ebano Supermarket, or Mikano Oil and whatever, just name it. Think about whatever the private firm is, right? For private firms, they too will also have to pay 200,000 naira minimum wage. That's why I was giving you the example of, if you have staff, you have a supermarket and you have sales boy, sales girl, you have accountant. Minimum salary for that person, if NLC gets their way with the federal government, I doubt that they will, but if they get their way, it means that you also have to pay those people minimum 200,000 naira. It's not just governments that will pay it. So that means everybody that has people in their employ have to pay that amount. Now, it doesn't, for the informal sector, the market women, market men, people who are running businesses, it doesn't quite cover them. However, if they have staff, so if Iyasikirat has somebody tending to her tomato business inside a Mile 12 market, if she has employee that is taking care of her tomato business, she has to pay minimum wage of 200,000. Oh yes, that's how it works. If Oga Chukwudi that owns a store in Alaba International has a boy that is working for him, he has to pay 200,000 minimum wage. That's how minimum wage is supposed to work. That's why right now that Iyasikirat has somebody selling in her store and Iyasikirat is paying that person 12,000, 15,000, that Iyasikirat is breaking the law, because Iyasikirat is supposed to be paying at least 30,000. That's what minimum wage is. Minimum wage is the least amount of money you can pay a person for their work. So I hope that addresses that question. Apologies about the sniffing. I have a cold. 99.3. Sorry about that. Give me a call back if you can. 99.3. Hello.
Sandra.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In every day they write for Nigeria.
What's happened now?
The day we go to mass, I wonder what people can go. Sandra, you can see what I tell you, say, even labor, gone, the masses will trust. Imagine, say, I get somebody they sell tomatoes now. I'm going to pay 200,000. How much bag of tomatoes? Where we want to start from? You see, when we talk about reality, we don't see it. For even those that are meant to fight for us, the government that are meant to please us, still talk back and stab us. Sandra, women's subsidy is not the problem. You go after those criminals and you felt you want to fight this thing. It is the criminal you're supposed to go after and see how you could help the masses. For itself is saying what we cannot believe. According to Zebediah, our foul. You could say a labor even fell down. It now looks like a plan between labor and government. That was making an ordinary man now to see. Who do you want us to run to and to believe, Sandra? Anyway, 200,000. Hello. I don't know my 200K.
All right, Malik. Thanks for calling. Joy is here. Hi, Joy.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're happy now? They don't call off strike, have you?
Yes, that's it. No, you don't get head, you don't get it.
Okay.
Because they are not fighting for us.
Say you be market.
How many people they work?
Minimum wage matter.
Minimum wage, it cannot solve our problem in this country.
200K.
It will put us into more suffering. See, when they collect that 200,000, when they take it to market, it cannot help them. You don't know. So at the end of the day, they are still inside that poverty. So everything that is connected to that subsidy, let them tackle it. If you don't uproot a tree from the root, it will still grow again. You don't know. Okay. I want to address about the darkness you talk about. See, if I don't see light, I don't feel sleep. Oh.
I know.
Yesterday, I don't sleep. Oh.
We don't fit in the same house. Oh.
No fuel. I don't see fuel. Stay on generator. That's why I put my eye till daybreak.
Okay.
Because I want every night to be like daytime. I go to see everywhere. That is how I sleep.
I can't sleep. Oh.
Yes, so I cannot sleep without light.
No.
So I suffered yesterday. So let's labor tackle the real cocoa. Okay. That 15% is too small for me. Oh.
Okay.
50%.
Oh.
All the people where they rule us, 50% out of what they are getting from us. That is what I want.
All right, Joy. Thanks for calling. Joy is talking about Labour's demand that the federal government should reduce the cost of governance by 15% next year and by 30% in 2025. Now, of course, not demanding that government should do it. They're actually saying that they want to work with government to do it. Right, so we have demands, and these are demands from the TUC, by the way, not NLC now. Demands from TUC include federal and state governments to raise minimum wage to 200,000 naira, PMS to go back to pump price during negotiations, tax holiday for all Nigerians earning 200,000 naira or less, PMS allowance for those earning between 200,000 and 500,000. Also wants to work with the government to reduce the cost of governance by 15% next year and by 30% in 2025. So yeah, 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. Now, of course, we don't know yet whether the federal government has accepted these terms. It is highly unlikely that the federal government will accept these terms, but these are the terms on the table at the moment. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Give me a call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Yeah, this is Rita calling from Lake.
Welcome, Rita.
Yeah, Sandra, you don't read 200,000. I was saying, wait, we are trying to fight one thing, and we are thinking of 200,000 naira. Where would that one work, Sandra?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if we were filling 25 liters of fuel for like 6K before, and now we're using 12 to 15K to fill it, we do need to increase minimum wage. And if you think about all the other things that will increase as a result of fuel increasing, 200,000 seems like a fair number.
Sandra, there's nothing fair about that. Let's be sincere. Before you know now, they'll start weighing people's salary. Is that the best thing for us?
Fair.
Is that the best thing, no? Because, in fact, 200,000 by then live. Now we are complaining. I don't know what will now happen then. And again, number two, Sandra, I don't know. You were talking about common entrance, not them allowing people at the under 12 not to. Please, they should not even try it too.
Okay, all right, Rita. Thanks for calling. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, let's get into that common entrance story.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Take charge of what you hear and when to listen.
All at your convenience. It's there on our mobile app and website.
Download the mobile app on iOS and Play Store or visit www.nigeriainfo.fm.
99.3. Let's talk. The biggest football fan festival in Nigeria is back. Goalfest 2023. Performing live, international superstar Zlatan Imole himself, Mo back.
Listen to this one like this. Been through many things. Many.
And the energy god himself, D.O. to the T-U-N.
Ladies and gentlemen, they call me the energy god #1.
And many more. Goalfest 2023 will also feature exciting games, food, comedy, and you can watch the UEFA Champions League finals on a huge screen. Goalfest 2023 will take place on the 10th of June at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 2 p.m. Get your free tickets now. www.goalfestnigeria.com. Limited tickets available, so hurry. Goalfest 2023 is powered by Femi and the Gang and the Football Republic. Proudly refreshed by Pepsi. Sponsored by BetWinner.
Supported by Indomie Media Partner Super Sports.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
So yes, the federal government is moving to stop under 12s from sitting common entrance and getting admission into unity schools. That's our second story. Andrew Adejo, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education, made a passionate and desperate plea to parents to stop pushing their children to get into secondary school too early. The PermSec said, quote, "This year, I have advice for parents, and I beg you, take this advice to any single home you know. We are killing our children by allowing underage children to write the common entrance exam. I saw children that I know are not up to 10, and 3 of them accepted that they are 9 years old. We're doing many things. 1, we are teaching the children the wrong values. Education is not about passing exams. Education is teaching, learning, and character formation. I beg parents, let these children do the exams when they should. We don't get value by pushing your child too far. Most of the time, if a child starts too early, he or she will have problems later in life. Education is designed in such a way that at any particular stage in life, there are messages your brain can take and understand and be able to use. We're moving from education that is reliant on reading textbooks and passing exams. We're getting to a stage where education is what you can use your knowledge to do for society. You put a small child to go through all the rigors. By the time he finishes secondary, getting to university becomes a problem. I had that experience with a friend. Till date, that friend did not get into a university simply because he was put into school earlier than age that he was supposed to be put into school." End quote. That's the PermSec of the Ministry of Education speaking there. Do you agree? Do you agree with the PERMSEC's view of this matter? Are we, as a society, pushing children too fast up the education ladder? Are we putting undue pressure on our children? But apart from begging, Andrew Adejo says that his ministry will put checks in place. He said, quote, "Let our children get to an appropriate age before writing this exam. And we're going to make sure NECO puts in place appropriate checks. We didn't want to get to this point where we would say bring a birth certificate, but that is the stage we're going to now. In registering, also upload the child's birth certificate so that at our own end, we are able to cut some of these things," end quote. Now, I'm wondering if this is even a solution, because I wonder whether some parents will go as far as forging birth certificates just to make sure their children write this exam early and get into secondary school early. So I don't know if that's the solution, but it will be interesting to see how that works out. Also, is government going too far to address this problem, do you think? Because you have those who would argue that lots of children who enter secondary school early actually do very well. So it varies from child to child. Should government put down this blanket rule? What if your child is an exceptional child? But also at the same time, what if your child is not an exceptional child and you're pushing that child to take on more than your child can handle? Can parents and teachers be trusted to evaluate children honestly without shaming them and agree that a particular child is not mature enough to make the jump? I want to hear your thoughts on this. If you're a dad or you're a mom, I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women, call me on 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 99.3. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I just want to speak on the common entrance issue. My name is Meg.
Meg, talk to me.
Okay, you see, the fact that we are doing something that is wrong doesn't make it right.
Okay.
The education system is clear. 6 years in primary school, 6 years in secondary school. That's that. 6 years in primary school, 3 years junior secondary, 3 years senior secondary, and then 4 years in the university.
Yeah.
Ideally, a child should be sent to school at age 5.
Yes.
But because of the demands of our jobs and stuff, we're sending children to school as early as 18 months.
Yeah.
Now, if I send a child to school about 3.5 years ahead, by the time the child is in nursery, it feels like she's been in school forever. Therefore, we resort to things like double promotion and all that. I don't think 11 is wrong. I went to federal school. You can't enter into a federal unity school unless you're 11 or 12. But because today we're all used to doing the wrong thing, so we will, want to crucify the government and say, oh, the policy is wrong. The policy is not wrong.
Okay.
Even abroad, children don't start school until age 5.
Right.
Unless you're sending your child to a private institution.
Right.
Let's do the right thing so that we can grow as we should. I don't think 11 years is too old to be in secondary school. Where are we hurrying to? That we don't let children be children, adults can be adults. I mean, we're in a hurry for everything. 11 is fine, please. Thank you.
Meg, thank you for calling. Meg says, where are we hurrying to? Frank is here. Frank is in Lekki. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going?
It's going. Talk to me.
Okay, it's a rainy day. On the entrance exam thing, I had a personal experience with my son.
Okay.
I regret to say today that I wish I didn't allow him to take the entrance exam, because he passed. He was an excellent student in the primary school.
Okay.
But once he got into the secondary school, it was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have that primary 6 thing.
Yeah.
So his math became deplorable, it was a real struggle.
It's a problem.
He's schooling abroad now, but even at that, you have to take him a class or 2 lesser. So it's like going back. However, I do not think that the government should stamp it on the parents. I just think that parents should make those decisions
by themselves.
And, give them their children what is good for them.
Okay.
Except they find the child to be exceptional. Then who actually is the judge for that?
Because every parent believes their kid is exceptional. So.
Yes, but you have to take them to like that. The government can create exceptional schools where they can take those exams for exceptional children. They pass them. You can accept that child to be exceptional.
That could work. That could be a great
Yes,
plan.
they do that abroad.
Yeah.
There are exceptional schools.
Yeah. All right. That could be a plan. That could be something for the government to think about. If you think your kid is an exceptional 9-year-old and should definitely be in secondary school because he'll be the youngest or she'll be the youngest PhD STEM something. All right. Bring them to come and write exceptional exams. If they pass, they're getting to secondary school early. I don't know. What do you think? I quite like that opinion from Frank. 99.3.
Hello, Sandra.
Hi.
Good afternoon. This is Rita. Sandra, I was talking before you cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Sandra,
we have to
let's be realistic. We'll debate this thing. Sometimes Nigerians happen. Okay, let's assume it now. To me, I like to my own child. I even want my child to finish to that age, maybe 11, before getting to secondary school, because it's really difficult for us to. But Sandra, Nigerians can happen. You can finish at 18 secondary school, and you get to the school, strike now hold you down for how many years? You are still there. By the time you graduate now, they will not be asking you, how old are you? You are too old for you to get jobs. We shouldn't forget about this also.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're debating this. That's why a lot of people want their children to go early, start up life early, and do fine for their mental health, whatever is bad. But this country is not fixing everything right for us to consider everything to be done in the right way.
So we're also planning for in case strike.
Yes, now imagine. I think last 2 weeks, Joyce was a program. A lot of people want to tell me that they're even cutting down their age. You go to work, they'll tell you if you are 35 or you are this, you are too old. We can't offer you this job. So what are we saying here? Please, if they want to do this, it's fine. It's not well, but at least we should be able to. We parents will have our own conscience also. But let's get to that university age that every time strike, and strike.
Okay, all right. Thank you for calling, Rita. Sharon is here. She's in Ikorodu. Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Good evening, Sandra.
Good evening. Talk to me, Sharon.
Well, I think I don't really buy into that federal government thingy. Because both parents and teachers have got to do real evaluation on their children. Student, pupils, then children and pupils.
Okay.
I feel like if they do it the way that they are going, then the freedom of the parents would be trampled upon. However, I know that no right is absolute. Right? But the children's welfare is priority. But then, just like you asked, they are exceptional children.
Right.
We can't assume that all children would. And besides, let's I forget. If you check very well, it's even the elite that are guilty of things like this, and not even the general masses.
Okay.
And because they are the ones guilty of this, causing unnecessary competition among themselves. My child graduated at this age and all of that stuff. That's why things like this became rampant. And who are those that put their children in daycare? Who are those that are guilty of things like that? There are those people that are big people in the society and they have well-paying jobs that they want to meet up targets and all of that stuff. It's not the main market woman that knows, they rush, leave where they sell to go pick their children from school, that have time to teach their children their assignments, that are guilty of these things. Moreover, who sends their children to private schools that don't have primary six? Who enjoys more of the public schools? Is the commoners. They're the ones that are guilty of trying to do the right thing, and then the elites happen to not do the right thing. But however, we cannot suffer. I mean, my younger brother graduated early from secondary school, and he did well, and he's in first class.
Yeah, but everybody's not your younger brother. There
That's
are
what I'm saying. I'm saying you know your child and know what your child can carry.
But
those that their children can fly, let them go.
But most parents believe that their children can carry it.
Okay, another thing again, just like Rita said. Okay, do you know? Okay, there are people now that they can't do some certain job because at the time they went to school, their hands have got to touch their ears, stuff like that.
Right.
It's looking like they are taking us back to those eras. Even if they've not said your hands have to touch your ears.
Right.
But then telling you that you have to reach age 12 before you get to, or because they said on that.
But that's the standard, you know. That's why the ministry is there. The ministry is there to standardize these things.
Who sets the standard anyway?
The ministry. The people.
Didn't they say? Okay, why is that popular saying that age is not by the number? Why is that popular saying? It's because there are people that when there are certain children at age 12, what they know, if they start sharing experiences and talking things, you'll be shocked at their age because they are exceptional children.
Yes, but there are very few exceptional children. Every child is not an exceptional child. The population.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know about that. I'm saying parents do due diligence on your children, and then teachers. How many teachers even know that? Okay, do teachers really discourage parents when they come to fly their children? Some of them see it as, oh, you have the money, come and do it, and all of that stuff. So even people don't want to put in the work anymore. They just want to have people to blame. So that's why I don't think I really buy the idea.
Yeah, Sharon, thank you so much for calling from Ikorodu. Samuel in Moe is here. Hi, Samuel. Are you still there, Samuel? All right, Samuel is not there anymore. Let me come to the phone, to WhatsApp very quickly. We've got Ugo from Surulere who says, how early you push children into school in Nigeria as to strike. However early you push children into school in Nigeria as to strike will humble you. Eventually, the children will mature during the imbroglio between the federal government and ASU. We've got Chris from Accra who says, your topic on early education is instructive. My question is our education standard falling, or is it the way we found ourselves? There's no failure in our school systems nowadays, only passing. No private schools fail children in this dispensation. I didn't meet JAM cutoff to gain admission twice, but my daughter left secondary school at 16 and now she's in the university and she's not even 17 yet. Private university admitted her just for making 6 credits and no JAM exams. She's likely to graduate at 20. Is this good for our society? That sounds like a question for my kids, and I beg to differ. Speaking of, Daniel from Ijaniki says, Sandra, I beg to differ on the last caller. The jobs out there are looking for younger ones. They're not looking for experience. All right. Tare from Lekki says, Sandra, my take on this NLC thing is that they just lost the best opportunity to have gone on strike, though I'm not surprised they called off the strike. To me, Sandra, the strike should have held for the records. The National Assembly not asking for all the requirements regarding the Nigeria Air concludes that 8 years of the Ahmed-led National Assembly was rubber stamp. Okay. Henry from New York City says, I think we should accept what the PermSec said. I pushed my daughter while we were in Nigeria, but when I relocated to the US, they took her a class back because they use age to determine class. And that's also another thing, and that's something I wanted to say to Sharon. You know, that a child has like worldly knowledge about things does not mean that the child is exceptional. That's number one. Number two, the population of exceptional children is actually quite small. Just because parents believe that their children are exceptional does not mean that the child is exceptional. And there's a reason why, conventionally speaking, people expect you to be at a certain age before you're doing certain things, because they believe that your brain is developing. So by the time you're 5 years old, the development of your brain has gotten to this particular stage, and therefore it can take on certain things. At 6 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, your brain continues to develop, and therefore there's a certain amount of stress that your brain can condone depending on the development of that brain. That's usually why educators all over the world come together and decide, okay, well, this is what's appropriate, this is what's appropriate, this is what's appropriate, right? That's not to say, of course, that there are some children's brains that develop faster than other children's brains. And for children like that, exceptions are made so that children like that are not held back. But look, children like that are the minority, they are not the majority. And so therefore the job of education ministries, education agencies, education experts is to figure out what are sets of rules that will work for the greater majority. And as far as the PAMSEC of the Nigerian Ministry of Education is concerned, that is 12 years old to get into secondary school. And that's the conversation we're having, so that, you let me know if you think that the PAMSEC is right. As a society, are we pushing our children too fast up the education ladder? I want to talk to you about Nigeria Air, but I'm seeing that everybody really wants to talk about this, what's it called now? What's the word I'm looking for? Everyone wants to talk about this common entrance story. But let me bring you our final story, and then we can just talk about all of them as quickly as we can. And then we'll come back and talk about this common entrance story next week, maybe on Monday, maybe on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. But yeah, the House of Reps is grilling the aviation ministry over Nigeria Air. That's our third story. In the final week of the Buhari administration, we saw a single plane land in Nigeria. Then Minister Hadi Sirika said that he had delivered a national carrier, but he get a CB. Like I said, it was just one plane. The plane also belonged to Ethiopian Airlines, the technical partner on the Nigeria Air project. That in of itself is not a big deal, but the plane has gone back to Ethiopia. In fact, even though the plane was physically rebranded, its actual registration and sensor data were never changed. So it was always an Ethiopian Airlines plane. Then here's a question. Does Nigeria Air have a website? The answer is no. And of course, in this day and age, websites are how you book tickets on an airline. So no planes and no website. Also, no license. For an airplane to fly in Nigeria, it needs an Air Operator Certificate, or AOC. And to get an AOC, airlines have to go through a 5-stage process. Nigeria Air is still at stage 1. The ministry applied to move the airline to stage 2, but FAN rejected the request because the airline doesn't have the minimum paperwork. So after 5 years of this national carrier project, we have one borrowed plane which has been returned, no website, no certificate. And now the House of Reps are upset. They've called the Federal Ministry of Aviation to come and explain. They've also summoned the Justice Ministry. But like I said, this project has been on since 2018, 5 years. So has the House of Reps been monitoring this situation properly during these 5 years? And if they have, how did things get here? And if they haven't, why are they suddenly interested now? Have you been paying attention to this Nigeria Air matter? 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women call me on 01465-7190. Hi, thanks for calling us.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon. It's Mustafa NSF for Balagbadu.
Good to have you on the show. Talk to me.
Thank you very much. I want to appeal to all the Nigeria who are afraid of 200,000 naira minimum wage. They should not be afraid of it. It's a multi-purpose blend. Both the private and the public sector. In the private sector, we are going to recapitalize the nation economy. To their benefit, it will increase consumerization as well as productivity. So even though they will not be able to pay the 200,000, but they will have to pay at least minimum of 80 to of it. Hello.
Okay.
They will be able to pay 75 to 90% of it through recapitalization. Are you getting my point? So the experts, the people who will do it, they are the authorized breed, not the unauthorized, the pro-depression one. So nobody should be afraid of that. In case of Nite, Tinubu administration should not be afraid of them.
Okay.
Don't need to stay with disturb his administration. God bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello. All right. That person isn't ready. 99.3.
Yes, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good day. How you doing? What's your name, sir?
We bless God. My name is Alade.
Talk to me, Alade.
You see, I discovered something that about this Nigeria here that we do not have integrity in this country.
Okay.
You see, because I don't see the reason why somebody that was put in a place of trust and now they came out of somewhere and displayed that thing publicly to people that we have arrived, we have delivered something for Nigeria. Meanwhile, it's a scam. That is the reason why you see all these young people, using the language of Nigeria is a scam, Nigeria is a scam. How do you want to explain that to the young ones? When they ask you, we as an elderly people now, we have seen some things in Nigeria, we have seen some things that is happening now. But the so-called people that are now, in the system are not showing the young ones, the right path. I don't know, maybe you understand where I'm coming from.
I understand, yeah.
So I think that is my own, view about it. I am ashamed the day I saw that thing on the telly displaying it and literally, why are we doing this to ourselves?
Alade, thank you very much for calling. Jack says, Shebi, when people were saying the Nigeria Air was a scam, they said we should pray. National Air Assembly should keep quiet, I beg. We've got Paul Idemudia from Surulere who says, House of Reps are very funny. Why not summon the immediate Minister of Aviation, Sirika, instead of Ministry of Aviation staff? They are just jokers. Actually, it's Hadi Sirika that they are summoning. We've got this one here from Bahome. Bahome says, an exceptional student is different from an intelligent student. Parents should know that. I will suggest NYSC to also set up an age limit for participating. That's how to checkmate the ones who went through private universities. My intern is looking at me because my intern is 18 years old. She got into university at 16. She's 18 and in 4th year, and she's doing 3 months internship with me. So she's hearing these people and saying, she's like, what? Genesis says, Sandra, please, if these children write the exams and pass, doesn't it mean they qualify to progress to secondary school? And if they fail, then we'll know they don't qualify. I mean, everybody will write exam, they pass. Say you pass exam, no mean say you're ready for the next stage of life, shall. But okay. We've got Akinlolu from Surulere who says, really, one should ask, will more money in salary help in a bad, lopsided economy? I don't think so. Prices will go up to match the increase in pay, so there's really no point. Before government and those involved can address this issue properly, they need to sit down and look at it from every angle possible. To remove subsidy is good since they say it's fraud on we the Nigerians. However, they should work on a better economy. All right, Akinlolu with that message there. Akinlolu, thank you very much for your message. This one here from Fred in Bariga says, I think the policy is a good one because at the end of the day, teachers are the ones that suffer the deficiency in these children's performance, since the parents end up blaming the school when the child cannot cope with the class. I am a teacher. All right, Fred from Bariga, thank you for your message. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll squeeze in a few more messages on WhatsApp. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
We report, you decide. Topical conversations that matter to you.
There are people for personal, religious, whatever reasons who do not want to take a vaccine. And I think they have the rights.
They cannot go to stop insecurity. It's to force people to take vaccine. Let them come and kill me. I can never take it.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
NASS
Oga, wetin happen? I don send a go market. I be dey owe you money.
Oga pharmacy, no be your boy I dey call jare. I dey ask for NS liver salt, medicine wey dey comot any yamayama discomfort for person belle, whether na heartburn, constipation or even indigestion. NS liver salt get lemon, orange and other correct flavors. With NS liver salt, belle go dey balance. Oya Oga pharmacy, sama me one make I go enjoy. NASS liver salt, the medicine where they make your belle kulele. Russian Tiny Pharmacy, go buy your own now.
Now, product of Neskem Pharmaceutical Limited.
This isn't just got better for you. Yes, you the audience. You can win a one-bedroom apartment just by watching the Big Family Dream TV show in our home play contest. Head on to www.bufferstudios.com now and click on home play to find out how. Also, follow all our social media handles at Big Family Dream and you're on the way to winning a brand new one-bedroom apartment. You can also register your family for the next season of the Big Family Dream, the show where all your dreams can come true. Showing on this channels: African Magic Family, Sundays 5:30 p.m. TVC, Sundays 6 p.m. STV, Sundays 6:30 p.m. Royal Roots TV, Sundays 7:30 p.m. Wazobia Max, Sundays 8 p.m. YouTube live stream option is also available at Buffett Studios TV on YouTube. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply. Proudly sponsored by AG Mortgage Bank PLC in association with Rights Foods and LifeMates Nigeria.
All round the clock, all year round. Never a time the journey would have been easy without you. You made your number one talk station, Nigeria Info, part of your everyday life.
Nigeria Info, callers, you people, I like the energy. This is what I want to hear every time.
And now, because of your active listening and contribution, we are crowned the radio station of the year. We are incredibly humbled and honored to be standing on the solid ground of your trust on our programming. This recognition means so much to us, and we are deeply grateful for it. Thank you for making this possible. Thank you for choosing Nigeria Info. Thank you for answering our call. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Let's stay with messages from WhatsApp now. Greetings, Sandra. We're in a country where jobs are for 30-year-olds and below, while politics are for Methuselahs. Isaac from Ijigbo with that message there. We've got Justice who says the minimum age should be 11 years into secondary school or 9 years for exceptional children to be ascertained by a government board. Sandra, if not for malpractice in our external exams, the level of poor performance would have been alarming. When it comes to ASU strike, the effect isn't that much. I experienced ASU strike for almost a year and I graduated after 5 years, which is required for my course. All right, Justice. Aziz says some children are exceptional children. Recently, a 22-year-old Nigerian bagged a PhD in biomedical engineering at the University of California. She had her bachelor degree at 14. Nothing bad in underage who is brilliant in sitting for exam. Every child should be given a chance to sit an exam, and age should not be a barrier. Aziz, that a child is intelligent does not mean that that child is exceptional. There's a difference between exceptional and intelligent, right? We've got Bob Ken in Agbado who says, I support the permanent secretary for stopping underage writing common entrance exam. If you go to boarding schools in Lagos, the underage students cry in the night for a while because some of them cannot cope. 3 of my children passed through the system, so they tell me so many things. All right, Bob Ken, thanks for your message. Suleja Academy, this one says there's a secondary school for exceptional students called Suleja Academy. Okay, you know that Nigerians use exceptional the same way we use luxury. The things we call luxury are not luxury. We call hotel resort. The hotels we call resorts are not resorts. So I'm also now, of course, I don't know this school, never heard of it, haven't been there, so I'm not saying it's not exceptional, but we also use we use words in interesting ways. Let me just say it like that. So I will have to check out that school to be sure. that school is really a school for exceptional kids. We've got this one here. There's a federal government secondary school for the gifted in Suleja. Ask the government what is happening with the school. I, however, support the idea of having the kids grow up and do 6 before junior secondary. My first child is still grappling with her grades, unlike her immediate younger people that tick the right boxes and are doing better. All right. Jane says, Sandra, if our children are brilliant at 10, let them sit for it. Tomorrow now you see job prescription saying 25 years below with 7 years experience, while the government wants us to still be in the university till 28. All right, Jane. Thanks for your message. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll bring you Community U Report. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, Lagos. Don't go away.
It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a